You are not lacking. You are not missing anything. You are not waiting on some external event, some magical opportunity, or some hidden blessing. The truth, the eternal truth, is that God has already provided everything you need. Right now. Yes, right now. You have within your reach the power to change your life. The air you breathe, the mind you possess, the energy that beats in your heart, the desire burning in your soul, all of it has been given to you, not in scarcity, but in abundance, not in confusion, but in clarity. But listen to me closely. It's your responsibility to recognize it. Most people walk through life blind to what they already have. They beg for what's already in their hands. They pray for strength when they've already been given a powerful mind. They ask for courage when God has already planted the seed of boldness inside them. They cry for a path while standing on the very ground that leads to their destiny. You must awaken to the truth that your provision has already been made. Every man or woman who has achieved greatness, who has risen above poverty, pain, and defeat, has done so not by receiving something new, but by activating what was already within them. The resources are not only around you, but they must be discovered. They must be cultivated. They must be brought to life through faith, through work, and through unwavering belief. God is not in the business of raising beggars. He is in the business of raising builders. He did not create you to crawl through life. He created you to rise, to stand, to conquer. But the test is whether you will see yourself as the vessel of power He already designed, or if you will continue to look for someone else to do for you what you have the power to do yourself. Listen to me carefully. You were born with purpose. You may not feel it. You may not have been told it, but that doesn't change it. Purpose is not a feeling. It's a fact. Your very existence proves it. The breath in your lungs, the thought in your mind, the yearning in your soul, they are all signs that God has placed a divine assignment on your life. And along with that assignment, He provided all you need to fulfill it. You may look at your life and say, I don't have money, I don't have connections, I don't have education, I don't have luck. Let me tell you something. You don't need any of that to begin. You don't need a college degree to take your first step. You don't need a bank loan to start moving forward. You don't need the applause of others to decide you're worthy. You need one thing: belief. Belief that if God gave you the vision, He gave you the tools. But here's the great lie the world has sold you: that success is for others, that greatness is inherited, that happiness is rare, that God plays favorites. No, success is built, greatness is chosen, happiness is created, and God gives freely to those who dare to use what they've been given. Your mind, what a gift it is. It is the workshop of your future. It is the factory of ideas. Every invention, every innovation, every fortune ever made started in the mind of one man or woman who dared to think differently, who dared to believe that if they could see it in their mind, they could create it in reality. Stop underestimating the power you've been given. Your imagination is divine. Your ability to think, plan, and persist is a miracle most ignore. You've got energy, raw, untapped, divine energy. Some call it desire, others call it ambition. I call it your inner fire. That restless voice that keeps you up at night, that makes you dream big, that whispers to you that you were made for more. That's God reminding you that He already gave you something. He already planted a seed. But hear me, it's up to you to water it. You want more out of life? Use what you have. Stop complaining about what's missing and start maximizing what's present. Use your time with intention. Use your voice with power. Use your story with boldness. There's someone out there right now who needs to hear your story, not a perfect story, a real story. There's someone whose life could change if you simply shared your truth. But most people bury what they've been given. They bury it under fear, under doubt, under the opinions of others, and then they wonder why nothing changes, why their prayers seem unanswered. The truth is, God answered you the moment He created you. He gave you the gift. The question is, have you unwrapped it? Your life is not waiting on a miracle. Your life is the miracle. You are the miracle waiting to be activated. And it begins when you stop waiting and start moving, when you stop blaming and start building, when you stop doubting and start declaring, I have what I need. You may not have what others have, but you have what you need. You may not come from wealth, but you have the power to create it. You may not have a famous name, but you have the character to make yours known. It's not about what's in your pocket. It's about what's in your spirit, and your spirit is more powerful than any circumstance you've ever faced. What would your life look like if you lived every day like God had already made a way? What would happen if you approached your problems not with fear, but with faith? Not with defeat, but with determination. I'll tell you what would happen. You would become unstoppable. Your environment is not your limit. Your past is not your prison. Your setbacks are not your sentence. They are your preparation. God doesn't give easy assignments to those He calls. He gives great assignments to those He equips. And you have been equipped. But there's a catch. God provides, but you must act. Provision without action is wasted potential. You've been given the seed, but only you can plant it. Only you can cultivate it. Only you can cultivate it. Only you can push through the seasons of drought, of darkness, of silence, until the harvest comes. And it will come. It always comes, but only to those who refuse to quit. Let others doubt you. Let others laugh at you. Let others question your dream, but never let that make you question yourself. Because when God gives you something, the world has no vote. When He places a vision in your soul, it wasn't a conference call. It was between you and Him. And what God starts, He finishes. But only if you cooperate with the gift. So don't talk yourself out of your own blessings. Don't wait for the perfect time. There is no perfect time. The perfect time is when you decide to begin. Don't wait until you feel ready. You'll never feel completely ready. You just have to move in faith. And when you do, watch doors open that logic could never explain. You don't need 100 people to believe in you. You need one. You. Believe that what you have is enough. Believe that you were born with purpose. Believe that God has already supplied everything you need to fulfill your calling. All that's left is for you to step into it. The moment you stop asking for permission and start walking in your God-given authority, the world around you will shift. Opportunities will appear. People will be drawn to your confidence. Resources will align. Why? Because you are finally operating in the truth that God doesn't leave His people lacking. You were not created to survive. You were created to thrive, to rise above, to lead, to build, to inspire, to be an example of what is possible when a human being stops living from fear and starts living from faith. So today, remind yourself, you already have it. Everything you need is within your reach. The dream, the strength, the wisdom, the opportunity, the courage, the clarity, the discipline, the energy. It's all there. Stop looking outward, start reaching inward. God has done His part, now it's time for you to do yours. And if you walk in that truth, day after day, step by step, you will discover that there is nothing you cannot become, nothing you cannot achieve, nothing you cannot overcome, because you were never empty. You were full all along. And don't let the world trick you into thinking you need to see it all clearly before you move. The greatest journeys began with only a whisper of direction. That whisper, your instinct, your inner voice. That's often how God speaks, not in a roar, but in a nudge. in that uneasy comfort that tells you there's more to become, more to do, more to live for. And when you feel that, you don't need a perfect map, you need movement. Because motion creates clarity. Some of you have been sitting still for far too long, overthinking, overanalyzing, waiting for a sign. The sign was the dream. The sign was the discomfort. The sign was the desire. What you're calling waiting on God is often just fear dressed up in spiritual language. God's not waiting to do something new. He's waiting on you to trust what He's already done, to walk into what's already been prepared. The path exists, but it's only revealed by footsteps. You say you want to change, then ask yourself, are you willing to do what change demands? Because change is not a wish. It's not a hope. It's a decision followed by discipline. And discipline is the evidence that you've recognized your divine resources. Discipline says, I have what I need, I just need to direct it. Discipline says, God gave me strength, I will use it with intention. Discipline says, I'm done asking for the tools, I will build with what I have. And let me tell you something about the tools you've been given. They may not look like much at first. A slingshot doesn't look like a weapon of war. A stick doesn't look like a path to freedom. A handful of flour doesn't look like provision for a family. But in the hands of someone who believes, the small becomes mighty, the common becomes miraculous, the ordinary becomes legendary. It's not what you have, it's how you use it. You may not feel qualified, you may not feel capable, but qualifications come after movement. You learn by doing, you grow by going, you become by building. Some people spend their entire lives gathering knowledge, but never applying it. Wisdom without action is just decoration. You don't need more information, you need more application. Use what you know, speak what you believe, act on what you feel. That is how you multiply what God has already given you. And don't be discouraged if no one sees your effort at first. You don't need applause to be effective. You don't need recognition to be powerful. Some of your greatest breakthroughs will happen in silence, in the dark, in the hours when no one's watching. That's when your roots grow deep. That's when your character is formed. That's when God shapes you into the person who can handle the blessing you've been asking for. It's not that the blessing hasn't arrived, it's that you must become the kind of person who can carry it. And the process? That's the provision too. Every challenge, every setback, every lonely moment, it's not a punishment, it's preparation. God provides not only the dream, but the development. He doesn't just give you the destination, He trains your feet for the journey. What feels like resistance is really refinement. And hear me, if you're surrounded by struggle, that may be the very proof that you're on the right path. The enemy doesn't attack the idol. The resistance comes because you're moving toward something. And if you weren't dangerous to mediocrity, mediocrity wouldn't fight you so hard. So instead of shrinking back, rise up. Take it as confirmation. Say to yourself, I must be carrying something powerful because I'm being challenged so deeply. And keep reminding yourself, you're not empty, you're not broken, you're not lacking. You've got divine tools in your soul. You've got fire in your spirit. You've got the right to win, not because of who you are, but because of whose you are. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not without favor. What you think you're waiting for is often already waiting for you to step into it. The doors you seek are voice activated. Open your mouth with faith and declare your future. Say, I already have what I need. Say it before you see it. Say it until you believe it. Say it while you're working. Say it while you're failing. Say it while you're rising. Your words are not just noise. They are the blueprints of your reality. Speak life. Speak victory. Speak what's already been promised. And let me speak directly to the part of you that still doubts. Yes, life has been hard. Yes, people have hurt you. Yes, there have been losses, betrayals, and disappointments. But don't confuse the battle with the outcome. Just because it's been difficult doesn't mean it won't be glorious. You've been walking through fire because you're meant to come out forged, hardened, focused, and full of fire, to lead, to lift, to change not only your life, but the lives of others who are watching you. Because make no mistake, someone is watching you. They're watching how you respond, how you rise, how you persevere. And whether they ever tell you or not, your decision to live in your God-given power might just be the thing that gives them permission to rise too. Your boldness unlocks their belief. Your courage becomes their catalyst. That's why you can't give up now. So don't despise the small steps. Don't despise humble beginnings. Every empire started with a single brick. Every movement began with one voice. Every revolution was sparked by one moment of courage. Use what you have. Do what you can. Trust the process. Trust the provision. Trust the source. And when doubt creeps in again, when fear knocks on the door, when you're tempted to say, I don't have enough, remind yourself of this unshakable truth. God already gave it to you. You're not waiting on it. You're sitting in it. You're walking with it. It's in your hands. It's in your mind. It's in your soul. Keep going. Keep building. Keep becoming. Now listen closely, because this is the part too many miss. You can't walk out of this moment the same. You can't hear truth like this and go back to playing small, back to shrinking, to hesitating, to doubting the power placed within you. The time for questioning is over. The time for waiting is over. The time for wondering if you're enough is over. You are enough. You always were. The difference between those who rise and those who remain stuck is not favor, it's faith. Faith that what they need has already been given. Faith that God didn't overlook them. Faith that provision comes disguised as potential. Faith that says, I will act because I already have the tools. So from this moment on, live like it's already yours. Think like you've already received it. Walk like you're already chosen. Speak like you're already destined. And work, oh yes, work, as if the future is already unfolding in your favor, because it is. Don't wait for the world to believe in you. Don't wait for every piece to fall into place. Step forward, move boldly, act decisively, and declare with every breath, every move, every action, God has already provided what I need, and now I will use it.